Yo, what up, Greg? Someone get... Someone get control of that AI. What the hell, man? That AI is being a dick. What's that all about? True. Yeah, this AI, we gotta upgrade our AI. What's going on with AI? Oh, now it might want to work. Oh, I think I know. Somehow it hates... Yeah, maybe. Somehow. The miracle. Oh, I think I know. Maybe not working. Oh, wait. It could be working. But I'm confused. Is Cultured coming today? We may be man down. You know, if that's the reason, Mordecai, I hate it. You know, that makes my blood boil. Fair weather fandom. Oh, I hate it so much. It's probably my least favorite thing in the world. No. Alright, I've exhausted this playlist. Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Uh-oh. How's the cough doing?
Oh, dude. Last week was fucking brutal. Are we muted?
No, we're not muted.
Okay. Well, there you go, everyone. Last week was effing brutal.
There we go. Thank you, Hoff. Or thank you, AI, for figuring it out. Our AI has figured it out.
I was more sick last week than I have been in probably 10 years.
Oh my god.
Got a raging chest infection. And I mean, I'm still on the tail end of it now. So I'll try to hit the mute button when I need to cough.
Good. Nice. Nice, nice. Cultured's joining us, right? He says he should. He said it should be okay.
I am gonna think he's not.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, let me change things then. Let me change the screens.
I mean, I could be wrong.
Hopefully. Well, I mean, he's not here yet. No word. Alrighty. Good evening, Half.
Hi.
Let's get time to check levels, etc. This is
Alright,
the
do mine
pre-show. Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Because I'm gonna go get some water and whatnot.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm testing it right now. It's good. It's good.
Testing. Onana should have been sent off. Testing.
Okay. Whoa. Slow down.
It's a little preview.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty.
All right. So Stream Elements is good now.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I guess you could take off because I made them all check out all the socials here. Even exclamation point Discord was one.
Okay.
I knew Mount Casimir Bruno was a bad idea. I have my thoughts. I'll explain them later. I mean, what do you want him to do? Send Mount to the bench. Maybe.
Oops. Whoa, that's huge.
Do you have
That might
graphics
work.
today, Hoff? Graphics? Just if you don't, it's fine. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I have two.
Okay. Yeah, just
I
send them
will.
over.
I'll put him
Send
in
them.
there.
Yeah.
All my stuff is. Where am I going? Where am I going? Is there a certain place you want me to put it? Certain channel or anything?
Throw it in. I just weekly rundown.
Okay.
Let me check that
Got
scene.
that one. And oh, I need to zoom in on that one before I. Well, let's make it a little bigger for the folks in the back.
All right, we're good to go there. do.
And this one, oh no, it won't let me do it. Can I copy? Nope. Shoot.
Kane showing his
All right.
Spurs blood at Bayern. Has Hoff gotten over Kane leaving yet? Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get
Who?
to it, guys. Sell us Mount, we're desperate enough. Sheesh. Stefan,
the last one.
Neymar broke my heart. Oh no, that's not good.
Jeez.
Bum, 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 bum. All right, cool. Thank you, Hoff.
Yep.
Third most talented player ever behind Messi and R9. You talking about Mason Mount? I thought so, Stefan. I thought so. I
Wow,
always knew
I didn't
you
know he
knew
was that
ball.
big of a Mount fan.
I always knew you were a Mount fan.
I think you'll find he's talking about Granit Xhaka.
Oh, mistaken. I've been mistaken.
All right, all right.
All right, testing, test. Okay, I think volumes are good. Mickey Mount.
Oh, that I guess for context, that the bar chart is for when we're talking about like broadcasting stuff, and the other two are for if and when we talk about tickets.
We'll just bundle all that together.
Okay. That's kind of funny. That never mind. I'm not going there. Not today.
Alrighty. I'm gonna mute the stream.
There we go.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 76 of the Monday. Of the 91st minute. I almost forgot we rebranded there. Welcome to the 91st minute. Check out the socials if you're watching on YouTube or at a later time. Join us in Twitch chat or YouTube chat. Get involved. Discord. All the things that are happening. Episode 76. Milo, did you have a 76 gas station in England?
No.
Or
No.
Canada, for that matter.
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
76 has little to no meaning. This will be the most meaningful thing with 76 in it in my life so far.
Is there a famous 76? I don't know. Other
Yeah.
than, what?
1776.
Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. I guess hallelujah. Now, Cultured is world hopping, guys. He is traveling the world. Now, he's in Malaysia, I think.
He's being cultured.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, culture travels more than all of us combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's gallivanting. He's probably been somewhere really nice, and we're not jealous at all.
Nope.
No. Let me just adjust some volumes. But chat, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We got a couple topics we're going to talk about today. Obviously, as always, there's a lot of football every week, and we cannot get to all of it. Okay, please forgive us. We're going to talk about things that you know pertain to our teams, and other big talking points during the week. But we'll do our best to talk about all the big points, and hopefully some time to chat with you guys in between. Without further ado, let's get into our first topic of the evening. The big match of the weekend was Chelsea versus Liverpool. An exciting game, I think, for the neutral to watch. Both teams, obviously, with that big debacle over Moises Caicedo. Both teams trying to sign him. One day it was Liverpool, the next it was Chelsea. Heartbreak for a lot of Liverpool fans. I thought the game was really nice. Very, very fun game. Some quality football from Liverpool, despite no midfield. Anyhow, let's get your guys' thoughts on the game. Hoff, what were your general thoughts on the Liverpool-Chelsea game?
It was a good way to end the weekend. I know there was a match today, but it was a good way to end the weekend. It was for a match day one fixture. I thought it was pretty peak Premier League. You had VAR in there, some questionable officiating, new manager on one side, pretty much new look team on one side. Lots of money dropped, and fighting over midfielders. It was, I enjoyed it. And the match itself was a good match. I'm happy with the draw as far as table wise for how it relates to my club. But yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, Milo, your thoughts on the affair?
Yeah, so I tuned in about 15 minutes in. So I watched most of the rest of the game. I mean, often the game that's billed as the biggest game of the weekend is not always the most entertaining. This was a fairly entertaining game, I thought. Although, the scoreline 1-1 could have done with a little bit more drama, for the opening weekend. But I suspect Chelsea, given the season they had last year, will be happy with a point at home to Liverpool, and I believe Liverpool, again, with the way their season went last year, I think away at the Bridge, tough opening fixture. I think they'll be happy with the point as well. I was pleased to see Luis Diaz get on the score sheet. It reminded me to put him straight back into the FPL team because I actually forgot all about him because he missed most of last season. And I mean, interesting. There were chances for I think Chelsea had a couple of chances late on. Mudryk in particular set one up that I thought probably should have been put away. I think from my perspective, I thought Chelsea maybe edged it in terms of who probably should have, put another chance away. The VAR stuff and all the rest of it. I mean, usual, nothing crazy. We're going to get bogged down in VAR. We'll have countless segments this season that will be VAR centric. I have no doubt about it. I mean, we should really have one tonight. Well, we will. We'll have it in the Man United section.
Well, we can have one now as well with the Nicholas Jackson handball, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What did you think? Did you feel it was a handball? Did you think it was the right call? Hoff, what do you think?
I think, man, that's so tough because I mean, his arm is in a natural position. Who know what the hell's his hand doing up here? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird one, right?
I don't know, man. This is my part of my ignorance. Has the handball rule changed in the last 3 months? Because I know it changes almost every season, it seems like.
The only thing I read about was something about there being a deflection shortly before the handball.
Okay.
So Luis Diaz does get ahead to it, but I don't know if I'm unclear on. I literally went to the rule, like while the game was on a side screen. I pulled up the rule book, the IFAB rule book. Autocomplete on my browser was there. Because I've been looking it up so many times. And I looked it up, and it doesn't say anything about deflection. But then I read online, and everyone's saying, "Oh, if the ball is taking a deflection, they give the benefit, and the arm is in a somewhat natural position. You give them the benefit of the doubt." I don't know exactly what it is. But I thought, it was the silhouette argument, which I kind of go along with. If the hand wasn't there, it would have hit his chest. I don't know. It's a tough one. But I think it's a fair call. I don't know. I believe it was 1-1 at the time.
Yeah, we're always on the fence, right? We talk about it every season. We talked about it endlessly last year. It's what should the call be? Do you take into account the scoreline? Do you take into account the temperature of the game? The anger levels of the players. Do you take all that into account, or do you just ref it by the book, right? And I mean, I think having the referee has to have some ability. Otherwise, eventually, it might as well just be a robot, right? The referee has to have some sort of discretion to say, in my opinion, that is that, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? It's just when they get it clearly wrong is more of a talking point. That's why for me, this one wasn't really a mega VAR deal.
How about the goal by Liverpool, though? Beautiful ball from McAllister into Salah, and then Salah with a nice pass into Luis Diaz. And you'll have a first-time shot like that. It's just always nice to see.
Yeah, that ball from Salah was incredible. I love a ball that just finds a guy through defenders. It was beautiful.
It is, and I'm a big Luis Diaz fan, as I've mentioned earlier. I'm really happy to see him back. I thought the season before, when he arrived at Liverpool, just a really exciting player to watch, and I hope he has a good season, just not against us.
And on the other side, the new signing, apparently you say his name Dizazi.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, I would pronounce it Disassi.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. But apparently it's Dizazi, which is, set up perfectly.
Isn't that a brand of mineral water?
Oh, yeah, I think it is. Dizazi. No?
Or something like that.
Dasani?
Oh, Dasani.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
But his name, you can see that in the newspapers, stress or something, if he has a game in the future, it's just set up for that. But yeah, he got a goal on his debut, which was nice. I thought it was funny when Salah has scored. Was it the streak is, I think he had 7 opening days in a row. Yeah, he scored.
Yeah,
and then when he got subbed off, I don't know if you guys saw this, but he had some tape on his hand, and each time he took a piece of tape off, the crowd would go, "Hey!" and another piece, "Hey!" It was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty good.
I think I read that he wasn't happy to come off. Is that accurate?
He was kind of like pouting and taking one piece of tape off, and he didn't shake Klopp's hand every time, or when he walked off, which is pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah, interesting.
That's what you want, though, man. You want your best players to be you want them to be angry.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because they'll do more next time and don't get subbed off. I don't know. Or maybe Klopp's just being smart and saying, "Hey, this is the first game." You know.
He got subbed off for like a young kid as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name, but the elephant in the room leading up to the match was Moises Caicedo, right? One night, I go to bed and I think, damn, Liverpool have Caicedo, they have McAllister, you know, Klopp's talking about switching to a, you know, possession style system, which is obviously not his preferred. And then the next morning I wake up, he's chosen Chelsea. How big of a blow do you think that is for Liverpool? And rumors are the second target, Lavia, is also agreed to join Chelsea. So who is on the market? I don't even know who's on the market.
Only Todd Bowley knows who's on the market. like it's, you know, I mean, I think it is a blow. The same way it's a blow that Arsenal in January, when they tried to get him, couldn't persuade Brighton to part terms with him for less than 100 mil. Brighton have stood firm the whole time. They had Caicedo come back, made sure that they could get a fee for him in the summer. By I think they extended his deal, right, in January.
I think so.
Just to make sure they could get the fee. You know, and they've. This is it. Chelsea have put up the money, and you know, I think Liverpool valued him, or were willing to pay more than Arsenal were, and then Chelsea are willing to pay more than Liverpool. So, as a supporter of a club that's been on the negative side of that equation many times, what do? You just got to get on with it. I think I don't know if Liverpool have any other targets other than Lavia, as you said, but yeah, it's got to be a blow. But at the same time, I feel like Bowley again. I don't know if he learned from last year. He's going to throw a bunch of pieces in, see what comes out the other end. It doesn't. What is their philosophy? What is their strategy? You know what I know obviously with the manager now, you're thinking it's Poch, so it should be fast attacking football. But like, you know, is Poch asking for these pieces, or are they just getting given to him?
Yeah. That's I appreciate or enjoy the fact that Chelsea's just handed Brighton like over 200 million in the past past three windows, because they got Caicedo, Cucurella, and Robert Sanchez as well. So they're kind of helping Brighton's business model along there. But yeah, we said it all last year that Liverpool needed to strengthen their midfield, and they did. McAllister's a great signing. Szoboszlai, I think he's going to be fantastic. And they lost Henderson, Fabinho. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain left as well. So I think as far as a need, Liverpool definitely needed him more. Because Chelsea just dropped over 100 million on Enzo in January as well. So yeah, it definitely seems like they're just throwing money around, especially with the Lavia thing. That's the baffling one to me. Like, they've signed all these guys. Is he expecting a lot of playing time? That just is. I don't know. That one seems puzzling to me.
It must be something about the project. You know, it must be like
okay.
And London, right? The Chelsea project might be more attractive and playing in London, but yeah, you got to wonder who else is on the market. Yeah,
like obviously the name that comes out, I assume it's Conor Gallagher that gets dropped to bring in Caicedo.
Well, yeah, but there's also an idea of playing with a proper. I mean, Poch said in his post-match press conference that he played with a back four, which is, I don't think that's true. But
no, I don't.
I think he wants to play with a proper back four in the future, and in which case you could potentially have Gallagher, Caicedo, and Enzo, or Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. Yeah, in a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
With Caicedo, because Caicedo likes to drop into the back line as well. So
But then again, if they get Lavia, I just feel like somebody's going to have to make way, surely. I know Chelsea don't really do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll have to have someone will have to sit on the bench, etc. But yeah, definitely can't see Enzo being dropped. Can't see Caicedo being dropped. So it'll be Gallagher and Lavia for that final spot. But yeah, interesting stuff. I think the Amrabat move that United are looking at might be thwarted by Liverpool's need for a defensive mid. Amrabat was linked to Liverpool at one time, but all the rumors, that you hear online are saying that he's going to go to United, and that he just wants United, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Liverpool pretty desperately need him. I mean, we'll talk about United as well, but I don't know who else is on the market that would be available. I can't imagine Madrid would be willing to part with Tchouameni, even though there have been rumors of him leaving. I just can't think of any top defensive mids that would be on the market. Someone in chat said Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams apparently agreed to go to Bournemouth apparently now, so wow. They've bought him. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who Liverpool end up going with, because they desperately need somebody in that position. Yeah, Tyler Adams apparently has gone to Bournemouth, guys.
That's crazy.
They did his buyout clause or whatever it's called. Buyout clause? Yeah.
Did he have a relegation clause?
I think he had a relegation. I don't know, actually.
Or if it was just a straight buyout. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because they got relegated, so it could be either.
Chelsea messing up the whole market with those 10-year deals. Yeah, apparently. But I mean, that's what allows them to do it, is those long deals, right? The cost per year is so low. I mean, yeah. There was a
So what happens like if you're Lavia and you sign, someone made this parallel on Twitter. I can't remember who it was. Like if you're Lavia and you sign, what he signed an 8 or is allegedly signing a 7 or 8 year deal. If you start outperforming that deal year 3, like, are they just going to magically give you a new deal? Or are they going to sell you? Like because that happens in American sports a lot. Like guys sign a 4 or 5 year deal. They start outperforming it in year 2. And then they just sit. They sit out. I feel like players might have a little more power in American sports. That may not be the case. Maybe I'm just exposed to it more. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's smart financially for them, but I don't know if it'll come back to bite them or not. As if players' values like skyrocket from them overperforming.
Yeah, I don't know. They must have. I wonder if they have some clauses where they, have to renegotiate or something at a certain point in the deal and whatnot.
Yeah.
When there's a big player available, they will pay a big fee.
What if the Premier League had? I think it's a Spanish rule that all players have to have a release clause. That would be kind of cool. I mean, it could be a ridiculous clause. Like you see Barcelona put, what did Fati have, like $1 billion or close to $1 billion release clause, something like that?
Yeah,
like,
Pedri and Gavi have $1 billion.
Yeah, he still has it, but yeah,
they don't. Yeah, they don't need him, because I remember. I think Dembele, one of the in their contract negotiations, Dembele wanted a release clause, and Barca didn't.
Okay.
Or maybe that was another player. I can't remember. All their players have 800 million plus clauses. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Next one. Let's go. That's right. All right, here we go. The early kickoff on Saturday was Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Arsenal took a 2-goal lead. Forest fought back to get a goal back, but wasn't enough as Arsenal took all 3 points at the Emirates in their home opener. Fun match. I caught the highlights only and a little bit of the end of the match. Milo, how did Arsenal do this weekend?
To be honest with you, I thought it was relatively routine, despite that little 10-minute spell where Forrest pulled one back, and then there was there's a little bit of excitement brewing for neutrals. I get it, but the other 80 minutes were relatively routine. I mean, look, for me, it highlighted the need to. The team has to find, and I've been, I and others have been saying this for a while now. Arsenal need to find a ruthless streak, so that if you're winning a game 2-0, you can finish it off. You need a third goal. You need a fourth goal sometimes. That's what City do. That's what teams that win the championship do. They don't allow teams back in, or at the very hint of them allowing a team back in, they do something about it, and they up the ante, and they up the tempo, and they put another one past them. And Arsenal have to find a way to do that. First game of the season, it is what it is. A bigger for me was to see what would he do with the lineup. He opted to leave Gabriel, the centre back, Cart's favourite player, opted to leave him on the bench. Said the decision was tactical when asked about it after the game. Thomas Partey started at right back, and Ben White played at centre back with Saliba. So Saliba, fine, usual thing. I thought he was better against City, to be honest. But again, he's coming back after last season's injury layoff. We know what he's capable of. I've got no worries about him at all. For the most part, completely solid again. Thomas Partey, actually, I thought he played all right off the right back position. He ended up switching with Ben White quite a lot, and for large portions, so he was more of a centre back. But he was doing this inverted role that Zinchenko was doing on the left side last year. Jurrien Timber was going to be doing it, and we'll get to that. And I think Timber could do it on either side of the field as well. So what it was for me is really was we were seeing another tactical test almost, and I wonder if part of it is because it's like Forest at home. You'd think the team's capable of beating them. We've not really seen Partey play there before, so to me it is a bit of a test situation, looking at the opponent and looking at the games that are coming up and all the rest of it. So yeah, I didn't think it was a terrible experiment. Arteta in his post-match presser said it worked exactly how he wanted it to. I'm not so sure about that, but the team got the win. Saka's goal, beautiful. I love that. I was watching something the other day, and somebody mentioned how what Saka's going to do, but you can't stop him. And it was a friend of the show, Kashmir Clay, actually compared him to Arjen Robben. So in the same way that Robben, you knew, would cut in on his left,
yep,
and get a shot on or square it to one of the centre mids or whatever, and you still couldn't stop him from doing it at his most threatening best. So I really enjoyed that. The biggest takeaway of the game, and obviously I'd love to get your guys' thoughts. I know you might not have watched the entire game. It was on ridiculously early for Pacific. It hurt me to get up. The biggest problem really is the injury to Timber. So it looks like an ACL. That's what's coming out today. At first he put a post out saying back soon. Seemed like maybe it wasn't as bad as what people feared, but now the doctors have looked at it, and I assume the scans have been done and whatnot. We're gonna see. And the key is, with an injury like that, don't bring him back anytime soon. Let him recover fully, because otherwise it'll never be the same player. And that will be a miss for us. And I think because it leaves us with the same defense as last season, which had question marks, especially if something happens to Saliba. So seeing Partey come in, play a bit at right back, a bit at centre back, quite well. I mean, we know he can tackle. The only weak point, I'd be worried about what he's like at, defending set pieces with his head and things like that, like kind of the traditional centre back duties. I'm not worried about his interception ability or his tackling ability or his strength or anything like that. It's more so those centre back fundamentals. Could that cost us if he's playing in that position? So losing our quality depth in the first game because I was quite excited about the way Timber's been playing. It hurts a little bit, but I'm also encouraged by the fact that he's finding a way to fit Partey and Rice in together in a different way.
Yeah, on the topic of Timber, he seems like someone who's really trying to win the fans over, with all of his performances, even through preseason. He goes kind of 110%. I remember in some preseason games, he was like one of the few guys going hard, just for preseason and stuff like that. And it seems like maybe because what I understand is he initially got injured, he went down, and then he went back on the field, I believe.
It was a challenge he got booked for. And it was like a tweak to the knee. And they assessed it at halftime. He said it was fine.
Yeah.
They would have done typical physio things. Rotate, you move the joint around. How does that feel? All that stuff, right? And, if the player's telling you he's good to go and there's no pain, fine.
Okay, so they went through halftime and then he came back on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, he came out with the team, and then he just turned. No tackler on it. He just turned, and when he planted, you could just see his knee, something popped there in his knee. So
interesting. Yeah, you wonder if he was like, just telling the medical crew, I'm fine, or something like that, just because he wanted to kind of really prove to the home fans.
There might be an element of that, but
maybe.
We'll never know. I mean, that's really hypothetical. We have no idea what's going on inside his mind. But
and also he's tweeting, be back soon type of thing, and it's like 6 months isn't exactly, or upwards of 6 months.
But I mean, maybe he didn't know at that time either, right? To him, absolutely. It might, because I damaged my ACL once. Luckily I didn't tear it, but I was playing badminton as well, not football, when it happened. Although the doctor said it was most likely the weekly football that led to it being in that condition.
Right.
And then I finished it off in a heated game of badminton with my father. It was, and badminton and tennis, if you do have any weak points in your knees, those games will expose it because it's all plant and twist, right? So
hard surfaces,
hard surface, but you plant your foot and then you're moving. You might be planting and then you go down and swipe the ball, right? So it's all terrible game for your knees if you have bad knees. So like it's one of those things, right? Maybe this has been coming for him. Who knows? It's just a big shame. It is a big shame, but we're gonna have to do without. And it is what it is.
Yeah. Other point in that game I have written here was that Martinelli dribble. Beautiful dribble down the wing. But was it an assist or was it a dribble? Did he mean to pass the ball or did he lose the ball under his feet? Hoff, what do you think?
That's what I had the same question. I watched the extended highlights because I didn't catch it live, and I saw that and I was like, damn, that was a good pass. And I just hit like the 15-second rewind. I watched again. I'm like, I don't know if he actually meant to pass that. Either way, it looked awesome.
I posed the question to some fans, and they were pretty adamant that he meant to pass it. And I mean, part of me wondered, was he trying it like the Cruyff turn or Zidane turn, whatever you want to call it, and like squeeze between them. But either way, it was pretty, it was nice, and Eddie finishing it off, you love to see it.
Write it in the YouTube comments, guys. 1, if it was a pass and he intentionally meant to do it, or 2, if he was dribbling and he lost it under his feet. I think it was a dribble and he lost it under his feet, personally. I know the fans would say it's a pass, but whatever. But I think he just lost it under his feet. But it turned out into a nice goal. Eddie Nketiah now has scored 14 goals in his last 16 home games, which is pretty remarkable.
I mean, all I'll say Martinelli's defense is you should hear the things the players say about him that he does in training. That's all I'm going to.
Okay. I mean, I can't argue with that. There's like, this is all anecdotal now,
I guess. But what you're, But it's anecdotal that you're asking the question. Right?
What else happened in the game? Oh yeah, on the top, you mentioned a lot of things. On the topic of Gabriel not starting, like you said, with Partey, you wonder about his aerial ability, and I think that's Gabriel's big advantage, right? If you're playing a team with a lot of aerial weapons, then Gabriel has got to be in the team. I like the look of Arsenal with Saliba at the middle, and then kind of White and Timber kind of flanking him as kind of those mobile center backs, very much like kind of modern center back type of setup. And I think the only change from the Community Shield was Gabriel off and Nketiah on. So they kind of went, instead of just Havertz up top, they put Havertz and Nketiah up top.
Which is hilarious, because if you'll, those of you watching on YouTube, feel free to go back through the segments. I said we'll never see that in a league game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Eddie and Havertz up top. I mean, look, obviously with Jesus' injury, it changed some things, right? I'm not sure that Jesus' extent of injury was known when I said that.
Right.
I still don't know. I don't know that it's what I want to see week in, week out. To be honest with you, I still think, I told you guys last week, Havertz, there are going to be fans that judge, not Arsenal fans necessarily, but there will be rival fans and neutrals that judge Havertz on his goals because of the position that he's in the lineup sheet in, right? But again, I don't think that's what he's there for. And most of our goals come from Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, maybe Eddie. If Havertz chips in with a few, it'll be great. But I don't think that's what he's there for. And I think, again, in this game, it was about his strength and his holding the ball and being that link, and pulling players out of position and stuff. So I think it's a player we have had in Jesus, but I think Jesus is more likely to retain the ball than Havertz. I think Havertz is more likely to lay it off or look for someone in a better position than him, whereas Jesus might sometimes be a bit more selfish with it, right? Whether that's good or bad.
Nice. Yeah, it's good game though. I saw the highlights. I mean, I forgot to mention, Ilanga had a nice assist, nice run and assist for us, which is nice. It's always nice to see that happen.
I'm just happy with 3 points. Obviously, I mean the key is 3 points. That's always.
Who do you guys have
the
next
key.
weekend? Do you know? I forget.
We have. Oh my God. I'm going to look it up now. I was looking at this.
We got Spurs.
2 hours
We're about
ago.
to get spanked by Spurs. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, Palace.
Yeah,
Palace away.
Yeah.
Monday night.
Ooh,
Let's see what
Monday
chat's saying here. Havertz is trash, but so is Mason Mount. Chelsea fleeced us both. Okay. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it depends. Again, for me, it's going to depend on what does he bring to the team. Like if he brings what Arteta is asking him to bring, and we win the games, then what does him being trash mean? You know what I mean? Is it because he's not scoring 30 goals? Well, if that's not what he's there for, then what are you judging him? I don't know. It's too early to say.
All right. Well, let's get into some Spurs action. Here we go.
Yay.
Tottenham away to Brentford for their season opener, finished in a 2-2 draw. Exciting first half, second half hard fought, but neither team were able to break the deadlock. Ange Postecoglou's first game, official game, in charge of Spurs. Hoff, what are your general thoughts about Spurs opener?
Overall, I'm pleased. Brentford away is kind of tricky. They have a pretty good, I think they only lost twice, 2 or 3 times at home last year. So they have a decent home record. And we had 70% possession. I don't remember the last time that happened. Like any time. So yeah, overall, pleased. I liked seeing I really enjoyed, it happened 3 or 4 times, Emerson on the left, like beside Son on the left. This is right back Emerson I'm talking about. And I'm like, who is that over there? Like, what's he doing? I'm like, oh, it's Emerson. And as fate would have it, that he got his goal from that position on the like left central side. But yeah, it was overall pleased. I thought that Destiny looked really good. As a 20-year-old in his first Premier League game, I thought he looked very comfortable in that inverted left back position. Madison with 2 assists looked like he met expectations. I have high expectations for him. He met them in the first match. Basuma made Conte look like an idiot in that game. I know Conte's been gone, but there's no other than being injured. He should have been playing him more last year. Even if he only used 2 midfielders, I feel like he was probably our best player. I don't think anyone else was above him. Basuma was very good. Who else was new? Van de Ven looked okay. The second goal is a weird deflection. I don't know if he could have done anything differently, but he is a massive man. And he's also really fast. I was texting with a buddy, like he would have been in the 90s. He would have been one of the best sweeper center backs like in the world, just because of his speed and size combination. Like he could clean up a lot of mistakes on the back line. Hopefully he won't have to do that, but I'm still not convinced by the defense. I don't know if I ever will be, just based on the style that Ange wants to use. But if he wants to win games 4-3, 4-2, 3-1, 3-2 by outscoring the other team, that's how you normally win. But yeah, I'm okay with that because I want to be entertained. And I'm looking forward to the next game. Like last year was such a slog, especially like we would go up a goal maybe and just try to see the game out. And it's not like that anymore. Like he has said as much in the preseason, like he'll be pissed if that happens. Like, why are you sitting back? Keep going, attack, score more. That's what I want. That's what I feel like. That's the Tottenham ethos. It should, or in an ideal world, that's what it would be. Just score goals. The fluidity is nice and entertain. If you win, great. And hopefully that style leads to more success as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. What is it? To dare is to do. That's the that's the slogan. Yeah, I thought it was. I watched most of that game. I think I definitely caught the second half of that game. It was interesting to see the Son. I don't know if you saw, Son is named captain, which is pretty cool. And before the game, he had the team go to the away end and cheer the away end, and they did their huddle by the away end. So it's almost like they're coming from they have a little like team in the corner. I thought that was a good idea. I think more teams should do that. It's got a nice it's got a nice vibe.
Apparently he texted Madison, who's one of the vice captains, the night before, Son being he, with that idea, like, oh, when we do our pre-kickoff huddle, let's go down and do it by the fans. And he's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And unfortunately there was like a 10-minute delay after that.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
didn't get, because the fans got, I mean, that they were up for it, and then you kind of had that delay when I think the water went out or something.
Yeah,
in
there's
the
a
stadium.
sanitation problem.
Yeah, someone clogged a toilet somewhere. Maybe it was Eric Dyer. That's why he wasn't in the squad. I don't know, but Son was the natural replacement for Lloris at captain. So I have no problems with it. The video that Spurs, the social media team, put out about Ange naming him captain was really good too. Well, he and Madison and Romero were both the vice captains, but yeah, I think as far as like a mentality, like in a game, I would always see Son like show emotion, show encouragement, things like that. Yeah, so I think it makes sense for him to be captain.
So Eric
I'm
Dyer
happy
was
with
just
it.
left out completely. Is he on the transfer block?
Yes. His contract is up at the end. I think it's at the end of
Okay.
this season. So I think I don't know if they're going out of their way to sell him, but if an offer comes in, they're not gonna hold on to him tightly. That's the feeling I get. I don't know how badly if he wants to leave.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure about that, but I wouldn't be shocked if he left before the window closes.
Okay. And the other kind of big incident in the game was Christian Romero's head injury. He got a head injury, continued playing, and then scored the goal. Was it Madison that assisted?
Yep.
He
so
threw a
Madison
bullet.
set piece.
A Madison set piece, which is kind of a bullet, and then Romero heads it in,
Yeah.
and then Romero goes down, and then eventually gets subbed off.
He was subbed off before the kickoff after that goal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He was like, no, I'm okay, and Ange was like, no, you're coming off like now.
Yeah, Ange said after the game, he said, people like me should shut up and listen to the doctors, so that's what I'll do. We've gone beyond the stage of managers or players trying to get funny about these things, because so often you see players, get concussed and be like, I'm fine, I'll play. But and you could even imagine some managers would put pressure on the doctors to let him play or whatever. But it's good to see him kind of respect the doctors and put the health and safety first. Get the old school mentalities kind of slowly being filtered from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good result for you guys. Well, not exactly the best result, but good performance from you guys, I thought.
Yeah. I
haven't really said much in this segment because you're waxing lyrical about Tottenham and you're excited, and I just didn't want to take away from it.
No, go ahead. I wasn't sure. Yeah, go ahead.
To dare is to do what exactly would be my first question.
Boom.
But no. In all seriousness, look, Brentford away is a tough opening game of the season. I'm pretty sure Arsenal took a beat in their opening day not that long ago. So it is tough. I guess my question for you is, defensively, you said you're still unsure. How I didn't watch this game, obviously. I had other things going on, but how did those two goals unfold? Like, were they set pieces? Were they counters? Because I'm interested in this attacking ethos. Because it's going to cost you. Some teams will prey on you if you're throwing men forward. Yeah. And I did read an article that suggested that's exactly what you were doing. So I just wondered, did their goals come on?
The second was a counter for sure. The first was a penalty. Was it or was it not? I don't know. I don't know what is or isn't a foul. So I don't have an English accent, so a lot of people on Twitter say I don't know. So I'll just go with that. But yeah, it was. Son was coming back, and he was dragging his foot. I forget who the player was that he fouled. But he was away from the ball, and Son's trailing foot tapped. He hit the guy on the ankle. He didn't kick him or anything. It came together, and then the guy took another step, and then the theatrics kicked in. So who knows?
It was.
But he called it. They scored. Okay.
It was a penalty. Your captain conceded a penalty. No,
it's okay. I'm not arguing about it because I don't know what a foul is. So
I think that, like you said, you're going to have to rely on maybe outscoring some people.
Yeah.
Which again, not to say that that's not what you'd normally try and do.
Right.
But like, because it does, now that I say it, it does sound weird. But
Yeah, that's what.
But I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the 90s Brazil mentality. We'll win 6-4.
Yep.
Rather than 2-0 or 1-0. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I just don't know if that is the recipe for success in today's Premier League.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's sustainable. And I mean, you know, your target, I think you said last week, your target would be top 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be a struggle because,
yeah,
you know, losing Kane, going through new manager, new system, growing pains. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I do, you know, all jokes aside, all seriousness, I think it's going to be a little bit of a transitional year maybe for them.
Yeah.
On the topic of Kane, first game without Kane for Tottenham in the Premier League in a while. Kane obviously was part of the Super Cup the same day.
And lost.
Which Bayern lost.
Sorry.
He started off the bench, but yeah. What are your thoughts on Kane, Hoff? Just now that it's over.
I'm glad it's over. That's what I think I said that last week. I just wanted resolution either way.
Right.
So I'm glad it's over. Apparently, like when he first met with Ange, he said, "Look, I want to leave. I'm okay with staying, but if I'm faced with a decision to leave or not, I'm going to leave." Like, okay, fair enough. It's the timing was probably the worst part, just being the day before the league kicks off. But he's not really in. And credit to Ange, I would be more concerned about him leaving if we didn't have the manager in place that we have. There's just something about his, I don't know if it's charisma or what it is. But I feel like every press conference, I'm like, man, I love this guy more and more. Every time he talks, like he's talking about, someone asked him like, oh, what do you think about Kane never winning anything here? He's like, you're going to have to ask him that because we only worked together for a couple months. Like, right. Just stuff like that. He's very good with the media. And I feel like there's a plan in place. And I know also before I've mentioned, he doesn't fit with the tactics that well. I don't feel he's a good enough player that he could play in them, but I don't think he would thrive in them necessarily. Which someone like Richarlison or Son or whoever else they get to replace him, I feel would be more geared towards that Ange number 9.
A guy from Genk, I think. What's his name?
Yeah, Gift Orban.
Yeah, Orban.
Yeah,
that's who you guys are linked to. Nice. Well, we'll see what happens as far as that replacement goes.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen the videos of Kane in the Bayern dressing room and stuff? Like as he gets introduced, it looks so awkward.
It's the Arrested Development. I've made a huge mistake.
It feels like that a little bit. He seems
like every time I see him, he's.
Yeah.
I said like, oh yeah, I remember the first time I heard German too. Like it's just he looks so out of his element.
It's gonna look really weird no matter what for the first little while. I just don't think it ever would have looked normal. Just he's been a staple in the Premier League for so long. It looks really odd seeing him in the Bayern Munich shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just weird because he like came into the locker room and like everyone wasn't there. Like there was like 1 or 2 people there, you know, like everyone was like, out doing things or something. And it was the whole thing was just kind of weird. And he was like, I think he was, okay, I'm psychoanalyzing again, but I think he was like feeling like I was the man at Spurs, you know, I used to be the man, and now I'm like a nobody here, you know. It's what it kind of felt like. It was like I can't exude my my confidence, or I can't exude my presence
You've got to
properly.
love how Cartwheel knows what all the players are thinking internally.
I
Have you,
feel like
have you noticed that? He
I
knows
just,
what
I'm
every
an
player
empath.
is thinking.
I'm an empath, you know? I'm an empath.
Are you though?
I think so.
I should have said it in the segment. Damn it! I never. And he was never. I mean, he was captain here and there when Lloris was hurt, but I never felt like Kane is a leader. Like, I know he's England's captain.
Yeah, he's...
He doesn't inspire me, even though he's been like one of my favorite players. Like, that's what I kind of mentioned it with Son. Like, I can see like Son actively like pumps up his teammates and the fans, and I never ever saw that from Kane. He just seems like he has like such a vanilla personality.
I doubt there's ever been a war-inspiring Winston Churchill type speech from Harry Kane in the England dressing room. I would almost bet my mortgage that has never happened.
They had in the All or Nothing a couple years ago, I think they showed one of his halftime speeches, and it was basically, "Come on, let's score a goal," and that was about about as basic as you could get. And I'm just like, I don't know, man, but I can't deny he's not good. But
he's not there for that anyway. I mean, he doesn't speak German, so he definitely won't be giving any speeches there. But like, you know, obviously ability-wise, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how he does in the Bundesliga.
Mordecai saying the public and soccer community sees him as such, though he has a lot of pull. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. That's why I was saying, like, that. Remember, he did that Hot Wings thing, which is like a big celebrity thing here in the States. And for me, it was like, I don't get that feeling. I don't get that.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't really want to watch it.
He doesn't have the. I said charisma earlier. I feel like he really doesn't have it. I mean, he has some. You have to be as good as he is and as popular as he is, but I don't feel like. And he is England's poster boy, but he has also got a shit ton of abuse from England fans,
from
England media, from Milo, England's other poster boy.
Bro says the two best English players are outside the Premier League is good for the national team. Yeah, I think it is.
Do you guys see Jude Bellingham scored on his Real Madrid La Liga debut?
We don't have a segment for La Liga, but we could talk a little bit La Liga. We could talk a little La Liga right now. Bellingham scored a nice. I don't think he intended for it to go in that trajectory, but in that direction. I think he meant to put it in that direction, and it worked out. And the great picture of him putting his arms out in front of the Bilbao fans. I don't know if you saw that. Pretty epic stuff.
I didn't.
But just a sea of Bilbao fans, and he's putting his arms out. Madrid win. And I don't know if you guys saw anything about the Barca game, but it was a bit of a shit show. 115 minutes on the clock, 60 minutes of in-game play, or ball in play action. Getafe are like the shithousers of La Liga. I caught a bit of the end of the game. I didn't catch all of it. They got a red card early. Rafinha elbowed the defender and got a red card. And then
Jeez.
It was just from what I saw from the highlights, it was a bit of a shit show. But yeah, they got held to a draw. Late penalty shout for who's it? Araujo. And he did get fouled, but before that there was a handball. So they if there was, and the handball was very slight as well. But look for a moment that Barca was gonna nick it. But it was handball, Stefan. It was handball. But yeah,
I'm
it was
glad
good.
that I think the most exciting thing I saw from Spain was Ancelotti's diamond midfield is back.
Yeah.
I hope that he just runs that throughout the season, because those AC Milan teams, oh my gosh, that was I love the diamond formation, man.
Other news in Spain is Eder Militao went down with ACL as well.
Oh,
and
Jeez.
that follows Courtois' ACL. So everyone's getting
Mhm.
ACLs,
Yeah.
you know. Maybe this is the whole, you know, fixture congestion, etc. Whatever, you know. I'm sure there's some stats maybe about it. I don't know if it's.
I mean, they've all just come back. I think it's more likely they've all just come back from holiday, maybe pushed it a little bit too much in preseason.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Something like that. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and you got to check out this
just the
Memphis
general
goal.
wear and tear.
The Memphis
yeah,
goal they're
I saw
talking
that.
about. Yeah, beautiful goal. Maybe
Yeah.
it's the vaccines. I don't know if we can say that on YouTube. You know, are we allowed to? I don't think we are allowed to say that on YouTube.
I have no comment.
Well, we're not gonna cut. We're not gonna cut this into a clip. This is the, you know, this is anything goes.
I still have no comment.
Okay, yeah, no comments. I'm just gonna cut this just from the stream, from the screen.
No,
Because, yeah.
He did say
Just-
maybe, to be fair, and not like
Sure.
it was a fact.
Yeah, I don't
It
know
was a
the
question.
I don't know the rules. It's a question. Sorry,
You're allowed
Sin.
to ask
Sorry,
it.
Sin.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ask you. All right, let's get to our final Premier League game to talk about, and then we'll get into some other topics. Manchester United tiptoe past the scary Wolves in their season opener on Monday night. I'm assuming there's a lot of Wolves in Wolverhampton. I didn't really think about it, but I'm assuming they got the name from somewhere. There's not many Wolves. Okay. Anyways, we scraped by Wolves. Tight 1-0 win. I'll just kind of go off about this. We were shit. We played like absolute shit. But it was nice to get the win. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the league. It's not like a, you know, the 3 points are in the bag. Sure, the goal difference not great, but we were just horrible. I mean, it felt like we couldn't keep possession, you know. This is something I talked about. A lot of people were talking about Onana's going to transform in the way we play and etc. But, you know, there's 11 players. The goalkeeper is just one player. It's a team sport, you know. Possession is a team tactic. And if you're passing to players who cannot retain the ball, we got problems. And that's what happened. And Wolves just picked us apart over and over and over again. And it was just a little embarrassing. Lisandro Martinez got an early yellow card. Ten Hag subbed him off at halftime. He could have been sent off very easily. Mateus Cunha, the former Atletico player, looked really, really good for Wolves. And Mateus Nunes as well. Wolves had some really good performances. They have a left back, Aitnori, who played really well as well. Wolves definitely deserved more than, deserved a point. And obviously, we'll get to the big decision at the end of the match. But, it's good to see United scrape by even when we're playing bad. We didn't fold under pressure and concede some stupid goal. Onana had some big saves, which is good to see as well. Obviously, the Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro midfield partnership is coming under a lot of pressure already. Obviously, Mason Mount is seen by many fans from the outside as our big star guy or whatever. But I don't see it that way. But he did not have the best game. Really, no one had a good game. Sancho and Eriksen came on, and they had good games. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a good game. Andre Onana had a good game. That's it. No one else had good games. And that was really disappointing to see. But, we scraped by the win. And, and I mentioned as I was watching it that if we play like this against Spurs, we're going to get slapped. We are going to get slapped by Spurs, I'm telling you. Spurs, they take care of the ball so well right now under Ange that, once we give the ball away, they're much better at possession than we are at this moment. But yeah, I don't know. It was a bad game. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we got the 3 points. A nice ball in from Wan-Bissaka from the wing into Varane, who heads it home. But yeah, we looked pretty dreadful. Anything besides that final penalty decision Garnacho looked bad. I mean, like if you want me to, I could just keep going and just get player ratings, and they're all going to be 4s and 5s. Sancho, Eriksen.
I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to dissect the game minute by minute.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, obviously United we're not at their best, and when you're at home at Old Trafford on the opening day of the season, you want it to be a much better performance.
Much better.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to psychoanalyze Cart here, guys, like he does.
Yeah,
I'm
let's do
sure
it.
Cartwheel was thinking, I'm sure he was sat there looking glum and thinking, it's over. All my talk of Ten Hag and his cooking is just gonna come back and no, I'm kidding.
Not quite.
I'm kidding. But 23 shots for Wolves in this game. They, what's going to come and haunt them is they're going to have games where they're going to have to find a way to put those away. That's just that's what's going to cost them. I mean, Wolves struggled last year. I think most people thought they were better than that anyway. Whether or not this is a sign that they're much improved coming into the season, I don't know. Or was it just one of those performances? Either way, as you said, you got 3 points, and if it was me, I would be looking at that. That's the only positive I would take out of the game, but it would be that. And then, you just let me know when we're going to talk about the Onana situation.
Yeah, well, I mean, anything else about the game, Hoff, you want to mention?
I just wanted to say I was really impressed with Wolves. Cunha looked really good. You said Cunha, Nunez, Nori. I can't even say his name. Lopetegui, there we go. When he left, like, what was it, last week? A week and a half ago, whenever, I thought that was an indictment on just the state of the squad. I guess it was probably looking at how they played today. There's a lot of talent there. It may have been a case of him not getting players that he wanted or players out that he wanted to get out. I don't know. But I definitely thought, and they still might, because it's only been one match, I thought that they were going to struggle this year, but if they play like that, I don't see them at least fighting relegation. Mid-table was a very realistic target if they perform like that throughout the year.
Yeah, I think they had the lowest goals scored, I think with 31 last season. So yeah, they're looking for goals, and Raul Jimenez has left for Fulham as well, and he was injured for a bit of last season as well. So yeah, they got to find some goals. They made some great opportunities. Let's jump to the last decision of the match, which is the big one. Andre Onana goes up to challenge a crossed-in ball, kind of comes pretty far off his line. And there are two Wolves players, Michael Dawson and I think it's Michael Dawson, and someone, a teammate in front of him.
Craig.
And who is it?
Craig Dawson, sorry.
Craig Dawson, sorry. Michael Dawson was an old Spurs guy.
Yep.
And Onana goes up, misses the ball. Craig Dawson heads it, but Onana takes out the player in front of, the Wolves player in front of Dawson. And it looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. VAR apparently checks it. They didn't check it, and then the ref goes to the sideline and gives a yellow card to Gary O'Neill on the sideline. Let's talk about it. Was it a penalty? What was the ref correct to not give that call? What are your thoughts, Milo?
I mean, I think it's a penalty, and it's debatable about a red card. I don't know. I'll be full disclosure here. I watched the extended highlights, and I watched that incident live. I didn't see any of the replays. I've not seen any of the reverse angles. I literally saw that full speed, whatever the TV view was for that moment. And my initial reaction was penalty. I haven't changed my mind, but again, I've not seen any evidence to suggest otherwise yet. The more I read about it, everybody is saying it was definitely a penalty. Also, where is it now? I pulled this up earlier. The select Group 1 manager at PGMOL has come out and already apologized for the non-award of a blatant penalty.
Yeah. Yep.
So this is, honestly, we can get into this deeper as well if you want, because you know you probably don't want to talk about the United performance that much, but like, you know,
We can talk about whatever.
But for this to happen on week 1, and they have to come out and say that on week 1 of the Premier League, it just makes me feel like we're not making progress here on the whole VAR thing. Like how is this happening? How? It's inexcusable. If he's saying, I've got to come out and apologize, we've made a mistake already, instantly fire the VAR guy, make sure that ref doesn't ref another Premier League game all season, and let's move on to somebody that can do the job.
How does that not get sent to the official, the on-field official, for a review? Was there what's the is there a reason behind that? Like why it wasn't sent to him?
Here's the theorized thing. Yeah, I agree. It's a penalty. In my mind, I was like, damn, it's a penalty. We almost scraped one. I was like, do we have enough time to get another one? I don't think so. You know, it's like, damn, one point. That's all. Like, honestly, that's where I was. The whole game was so, you know, abject that I was just like, okay, the Wolves deserve this. You know, it is what it is. But apparently, it's because it was the goalkeeper. Right, there's an argument that Onana ran into the player that wasn't playing the ball. Right, he didn't prevent a player from playing the ball, but that's. But
he punched a player in the head.
Well, he didn't punch a player in the
full
head.
Speed, or it clattered into him.
He clattered into him. Yeah, so
Which
it's
is
like
a foul.
Yeah, it's a foul. But apparently, with the goalkeeper position, that's where it gets a little dicey. Apparently. But I'm not saying that's. I mean, it's not. It's like there's wiggle room in the rules apparently for goalkeepers, and there was a decision.
I mean, you can't touch a keeper, right? You can't touch a keeper as a player, so he has no right to clatter through somebody.
No.
That's
no,
yeah.
I'm not arguing that it wasn't a penalty, but I'm arguing why the decision could have been made at that time. Obviously, they were wrong, but I'm just saying I think this might have been.
So I'm asking you, how do they make that mistake? Who was the ref? Like, if they need to be investigated because it's another at Old Trafford incident.
Oh,
deep in a game. Like this is more evidence.
Oh,
that Old Trafford has that. You know, like I'm just saying, dude. Like this is not the first time.
Okay, yeah, I mean it could be. I mean the occasion does get to some refs and they can't handle it. You know, it's a big stadium, it's a big presence. Old Trafford at home, last minute penalty. Do you really want to do that? You know, that's what it comes down to. You know.
Yeah, but you see, this is what we talked about last year. Like we're begging, all of us on this panel are crying out for consistency. Like it's inexcusable. And I just think if you miss something like that, that shouldn't be your job. You need to be demoted. All right, maybe don't fire the man, but I would say no more Premier League games for you, like this season. You're back up to the Championship to learn what a foul is.
Yeah, I don't know how deep the referee roster is or whatever, and what the rule is. Maybe they got some sort of 3-strike rule now or something in place. Who knows what Howard Webb's doing behind the scenes.
Webb said this kind of shit was going to stop.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They've been pretty good about these new time wasting rules. You know, yellow cards for kicking the ball away, yellow cards for managers, and all that stuff. But yeah, this one was a weird one. I wonder if we'll get some explanation. Dale Johnson, he's the ESPN guy who always does all things refereeing and VAR. He posted something about an incident like this happening last year with Jose Sa on the other side. It wasn't quite as clear cut, but he gave the explanations, and that's kind of where I got the whole thing about it being a goalkeeper going up for the ball and not. It's not the same as a player going up for the ball, something like this. But I think it was a penalty. I was ready to concede a penalty. I don't think it was a red card. I don't even think it was a yellow card. It was just a foul. It was clumsy, and you should and you know how I am. I am all for punishing lazy defending, and that was complete lazy defending and a lazy challenge by Onana. And if we want the game to grow, we need better offense, or we need to give offense the advantage. And that was a clear situation where offense should have been given the advantage with a penalty.
Yeah, and I still, it hasn't changed my mind about Onana. I think I said to you guys, I feel like he's going to cost you some points somewhere. And man, was he lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah.
And that's in game one. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't bode well.
That one decision was the kind of the clincher between him being man of the match and him being, just having a horrible opening
outside game. That, I thought he had a great game. I mean, he kept you in it.
Mm-hmm. Great game.
At times. And so, to be fair, I'm not, some of the shots were pretty easy for a top-class keeper, I think, to save. It's not like he was facing a Haaland rocket every few minutes, but I thought he made a number of saves.
Yeah.
He did everything you'd want him to do, everything De Gea would have done. We lauded De Gea's shot stopping. Onana did that no problem. I thought he had a really good game up until that moment, and that's what I mean. It's just I think there will be times this season where the little craziness in him is gonna come out.
Absolutely, and that's the life of a goalkeeper, right? You could have a perfect game for 95 minutes and one 10-second lapse, and then everyone wants you out of the club. Your legendary status is ripped away from you. All this stuff. They want to kick you to the curb, go to Saudi, all this stuff. That's the life of a goalkeeper. And yeah, I think Onana had a good game, and I do think the team needs to level up in possession to match Onana now, which is going to be the challenge for the weeks to come now. Oh boy, yeah, what a shit show of a game though. Oh my god. Talk about I got the day off. I'm like, all right, here we go. Oh, season opener, game 1, season 2, Ten Hag, la la la. And then just that shit was just horrible to watch, man. It was just so bad. What is chat saying? Cunha looked amazing. He did it on. He did. He looked really good. But we gave so much space in the midfield that Cunha kind of dropped deep, picked up the ball, and he just had I don't know what the hell was going on. We tried this high press thing, right, with Mount and Bruno, and one fullback pushing up and pressing high. And that's what Mount brings. We didn't really talk much about Mount because he was just so bad. That's what Mount brings. He brings a high pressing, and that's kind of what the idea is now. But it'll take some time to really tune that in. Yeah, there's a lot of chat here. The king of the English, Ethelred the Unready. What the hell? Granted lands to Lady Wolfrun by royal charter.
Mm-hmm.
That area then became known as City Wolverhampton. Over the years, the name of the city was often shortened to Wolves, so having an actual wolf as their team badge, the Wolves became their official nickname. Okay.
Is that
Wolfrun? Lady Wolfrun.
What is
That's
that?
where it came from.
I think I've heard those names from what's that show? Last Kingdom. You ever watch that?
Last Kingdom? No, I haven't seen Last Kingdom.
Yeah,
Thrones,
it's
no.
I believe Ethelred is in that series. I believe it's fictional, but they use historical characters in it.
Okay. If you keep playing like that, they can forget about top 4. Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
It's game 1, guys.
Yeah.
There's to draw any conclusions from the first 90 minutes would just be, go join Twitter. There's loads of that on there.
Yeah, or we could just bait him here, just it's over, guys. The season's over. No, I can't do it anymore, man. Not that I was ever doing it. I feel like I've just really chilled out, man. Like I said last week, I feel like I'm just getting old. I don't want to lean in. Missing out on Rice. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. Frankie, now forget about Frankie, guys. All right, let's get to our last kind of general topic. Oh, we have 2 more topics. Okay, here we go. There we go. Let's freestyle it. Freestyle. Here we go. All right, TV. Guys, the price of TV. All right, hold on. Start over. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Milo. Milo, you want to do this one?
Sure. Why,
There we go.
why not?
I'm drawing a blank here. I didn't write anything.
I got you.
Here we go.
All right. Yeah, is the average fan being priced out of football? This is a topic that came up in the Discord in our weekly rundown, roundup, whatever you want to call it. It's called rundown. Yeah, so we've been talking about this. Like, I guess, Hoff, I think it was you that brought it up initially from an article, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I know we had talked about the price that if you wanted to watch all of your club's games or as much Premier League as you could, it's ridiculously expensive if you are in the UK and in England, I believe, more specifically. And all the figures, I did a lot of stat crunching today, and I believe if you wanted to watch you can't watch every Premier League match live in England. So let's start with that. You can only catch in England, you can only catch about just above 50% of the games live. Part of that is there's a 3 p.m. blackout, and I know you can talk about that a little more, Milo. And it's on different providers, and it's just expensive and hard to watch all of the matches live. But the cost is, from the figures I could find, is about £110 per month. If you want to watch all of the games that are broadcast live. And like I said, that's like just above 50% of the 380 matches per season are broadcast live, which is compared to the other leagues, the other big 5 leagues. The Bundesliga broadcasts 94% of their games live. La Liga, Serie A, and Ligue 1, all of this domestically speaking. So in Germany, 94% of the games are live. In Spain, 100%. In Italy, 100%. In France, 100%. So that's, the chart that just popped up shows the disparity in the amount of live games that you can actually watch. Cost-wise, I couldn't find how to get these different cable packages, streaming packages in different countries. I could only compare to what we have in the US, and Milo gave me some Canadian numbers as well. In the US, you can watch almost all of the games live. It's not all of them, for $60 on Peacock. And in Canada, you can watch all of them on Fubo, and you said it was $219.
Yeah, so it's cheaper if you sign up for the year. Right. And if you sign up for the year, those monthly fees add up to $219 in Canada, and that will give me every Premier League game, every Serie A game, every League game. Okay. So I watched a lot of Serie A last year, and I was covering it kind of for our wrap-up show, and so it came in handy there. Now, DAZN used to have the rights, DAZN Canada. I know they didn't in the States, because that used to be something me and Cart talked about quite a lot when we're watching games on a Saturday or Sunday morning. And Fubo got the rights that DAZN used to have. So in Canada, Fubo can show every Premier League game. It's great. I mean, for that money, I'm happy to pay that to be able to watch any game I want, multiple games a weekend, and always be able to see my team play. I can also record the games and watch them later if I needed to as well. I think it's more than worth it for me. If, is there a point where I'd go, man, that's not worth it anymore? Maybe. I'm not keen to go back to alternative streaming methods, which we've all done at certain points, which involve pop-ups, having to close pop-ups every few seconds and getting diverted to really sketchy betting websites and stuff like that. We've all been down that road. We've all watched something with that happening. It's super frustrating. Or we tune into a stream that's got a different commentary language. So that's also a thing. Now, as far as the Sky Sports thing go, because the Premier League's obviously shown on Sky Sports in England, and I think the terrestrial, we have, forgive me if I'm wrong, I don't live in England anymore and I haven't since 2007, but terrestrial TV is TV that everybody has access to, like BBC One, ITV. They have certain amount of games per year they can show, and they normally will show FA Cup. They'll normally show Europa League, or one channel might have those games. The Champions League always used to be on ITV. Don't know if it still is. So Sky Sports dominated the Premier League. Now, when Sky Sports came out, really that deal was one of the things that catapulted the Premier League into the money era. That whole thing really helped it take off. So I never had Sky Sports because the packages were too expensive. When I lived in England and the job I had at that time, I couldn't afford Sky Sports package. I looked at it, I wanted it, couldn't afford it, so I just didn't get it. If I was there now, I'd hope I'd be in a position where I could afford it. But I think it's definitely something to think about. Anyone in chat or in the YouTube comments wants to let us know, how do you find the rates for Sky Sports? Do you find it expensive to be able to follow the Premier League? Are you able to see any other football from around Europe? Because you never really used to. I used to watch Gazzetta Football Italia on the weekend, was like a roundup show of Serie A, and everything else was kind of like on Transworld Sport was another show I used to watch that used to show highlights from around the world, different football leagues. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, it gets pricey, man. It gets pricey. I remember back when I was in, or back around 2006, around that World Cup, I had to, it was $15 a month to get La Liga and the Premier League on U.S. television. This was before the internet, or during the internet, but streaming wasn't a thing. But now it's like, which was pretty high at the time, and I would have thought prices would have gone down, but I feel like they've kind of gone up, and now everything's kind of separated, right? So here you need a Fubo, ESPN Plus, and Paramount Plus, and even Amazon for some matches to watch all the games. I
feel lucky that the Canadian networks have not gone down that route. They've for the last few years they had them all on DAZN. Now they're all on Fubo. It's the same deal in Canada for both. Obviously I don't subscribe to DAZN anymore though, because they do show some things I'd probably watch, but for me it's one, and it's going to be for football. To be honest, I think the Premier League are making a massive mistake, and part of it is Sky Sports. That whole link with Sky Sports, whatever it is so deep, because the Premier League themselves should be broadcasting those games, and you should be able to buy a league pass, much like you can with NBA, NHL, MLB. Like, the fact that you can't buy a league pass for the Premier League, it's ridiculous in 2023. They would make $1 gajillion. You know what I mean? Like, all they have to do is reach out to all the networks and say, sell this, we'll give you a percentage of every one, but we'll be the distributor of the Premier League, league pass. Like, it's crazy that it doesn't happen, and it's because there's too many old timers, probably an old boys network still deeply involved back in England, where a lot of this, they figure they can make more money by piecemealing it out to all these different places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
I also, when I was researching all this, I saw or tried to find the current media contracts, the domestic media contracts The Premier League are generating $8 million of revenue per match that's televised live. The next closest is the Bundesliga, which is they're at £3 million, which is obviously less than half. So their media deal, the Premier League's media deal, is just crazy. And that's where you see the transfer deals that are north of £100 million, or, well, for the most part. But multiple, like the same club with multiple £100 million players. So the money is coming in for sure. Coupled with that, I thought it was kind of something that I saw an article again, or sorry, I saw a tweet this morning from Derek Ray, who covers the Bundesliga on ESPN Plus here in the States. And I'm sure if you're not in the States, you've heard Derek Ray call some sort of a match. He's a very iconic
FIFA
announcer.
video game, right?
Yeah. He was on FIFA. Yeah.
EAFC. As it's now known.
Sorry. But he said a Kicker's a publication in Germany. Kicker report shows the cheapest tickets at Bundesliga venues for the new season. These are single match prices, the first numbers, as low as €13 at Mainz and Union Berlin, while the most expensive of the cheapest. So if you're looking like the cheaper sections, this is not the midfield pitch side seat. The most expensive of the cheapest tickets are Dortmund and Stuttgart at €18.50. And I am the Bundesliga correspondent. I love the Bundesliga model. I didn't know this until today. They're local. If you are taking public transit to the match locally, like if you live within a certain area, I guess, the public transit fee is included in your match ticket. You use your match ticket to travel, like on the U-Bahn or subway, whatever you want to call it. And season ticket wise, the U-Bahn, yeah.
I like that better.
The season tickets, now this is where I'm going to do a little contrasting. The cheapest season tickets are Hoffenheim and Wolfsburg. Again, these are the cheaper seats in the stadium. €150 and €160. That's it for the season. And the most expensive of the cheapest seats are Dortmund and Darmstadt, actually newly promoted Darmstadt. €250 at Dortmund, €256 at Darmstadt. So, given those prices, and again, they have a different ownership structure, just a whole different league structure in Germany, so they can afford to not. Match day revenue is not where German clubs pull in the majority of their money. It's not where the media deals are, where everyone does, but even less so with the match day revenue in Germany. In England, season tickets for the Premier League, the lowest, the lowest season ticket, again, of the cheap seats is West Ham, £310 for a season. That's a decent price. I used to have Columbus Crew season tickets, and it was between $500 and $600 a year for, I would say, medium quality seats, like not the best ones, not the cheapest ones. So that's about the same. I don't know the conversion rate today, but that's about the same. Those West Ham prices. The most expensive are actually Arsenal, £973 a season. So that's
the most expensive of the cheapest
of the cheaper seats.
Season tickets. Yeah, that makes sense.
Unbelievable.
And Tottenham are the second most expensive.
Just wait till you have a new stadium to pay for. That's what I'm going to say. 'Cause you also have to factor in the new stadiums. You do have to factor in the new stadiums. There is a perfect view from every seat that you pay for.
Yeah.
That's where they justify charging you more. So in the older stadiums, there are poles, there are TV lanyards and stanchions and stuff in the way of some people's seats. So just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Tottenham's lowest is not far behind in their new stadium.
It's 807, so it's about 100 pounds cheaper.
But your most expensive is more than Arsenal's.
Yep.
So it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the most expensive, which really threw me for a loop, of the highest, like the best of the best seats, I guess, is Fulham at 3,000 pounds a season. I've never been to Craven Cottage. I've only seen it on TV.
I don't know what seat that is, because
I can't imagine what seat that is unless it's a luxury box. And even then, do they have luxury boxes at Craven Cottage? I don't know. But I saw that 3,000 pound number and I don't know if that's right, but that everything else seems legit on the list. So yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's the London thing as well. Maybe there's,
Oh, you definitely London prices are in there. I mean, look at West Ham.
Yep.
Yeah. Like who really 1,600 pounds. I mean, look, those highest prices are club level seats, right? In the new stadiums, that means you've got sandwiches you can go eat in the little room behind your seats. You know,
I want a
it's
sandwich right now.
No, but it's like you know, like in a hockey arena or a basketball arena, you have like box seats.
Yeah,
it'd be like, it's kind of like that.
Buffets.
Right? So those highest price tickets, that's what you get. Now, I can interject a little bit of knowledge here for you because, excuse my cough. I have a little mute button here that helps.
Nice one. Nice one.
Basically, 2001 to 2007 had season tickets, and they were between 1,100 and 1,400. It's somewhere averaged in there per season. You know, very successful period of time for Arsenal. So, you know, did I mind at all? No. Was it expensive for me? Yes. A blue collar worker, like just, you know, I was in a trade, just working and going to watch football. That was basically my life. And it's definitely, it was always expensive, right? It was always expensive. It's, to be honest, it's on top of this when you add in travel, food, drink, week after week after week, and then away games would all be on top of this as well.
Yeah, it adds up. It adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just dying over here, guys. The cough gets worse at night. I'm sorry.
Not good. Yeah, yeah. Well, interesting dive into that. I mean, personally, I've been kind of quiet for this section because, you know, cooped up here in California in the middle of nowhere, like there's no football. It's like I'm not like, you know, my local college, you know, you get in there with the student ID type of thing, you know, it's like that's about it. Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to see.
Well, have a look at the equivalent. If you go, I mean, NHL season ticket prices.
Oh, NHL, yeah.
No, I mean, like if you go look at how much are Lakers season tickets? You know, that's the equivalent. What people would be paying for. I think they're going to be more. I'm pretty sure like Canucks season tickets are around $4,000 or $5,000 a season, which is just ludicrous. I don't know how anyone does it, but can I just take the conversation back a moment? My whole Premier League Pass idea. Quick Google search, right? Roughly 643 million homes receive, that's the figure I found, receive the Premier League signal in some way, shape or form during the course of a season. Okay. 643 million homes worldwide. Right? So if the Premier League said we're going to do this ourselves and charge a flat $100, that would be $64.3 billion they would make.
Ooh.
If every home bought the League Pass.
Right.
Now, if you had access to every Premier League game for $100, I don't care where you live, a lot of damn people are going to take it. Obviously not all of them, right? Obviously not all of them, but a mega number. Like somebody's not thinking about this over there.
And you can add in value too. Like you can add in highlight packages, you can add in like a weekly show, like what I think what MLS does with Apple TV is kind of cool. kind of cool, kind of not, but they show all the MLS games, and they have like they're doing all the production pre-match shows, highlight shows, like a weekly preview, wrap-up shows. They're doing so you could make it kind of like a Premier League network type thing, and it put like archives in there of old past match, like put them up there, watch them anytime. Yeah, if it was only $100, that'd be a steal.
But then Michael Owen will be out of a job. What's Michael Owen gonna do?
But we both know it would be more than that if they charged for it, and a lot of people would pay. But even if a quarter of them did, we're talking mega money, enough money to have your own network. You wouldn't even need other people.
Yeah, the NFL charges.
Canada's doing it.
300 to 400.
I mean, it must come down to the countries then, because Canada's kind of doing it, right? You guys got all the games, so that maybe that's what it is. Maybe the U.S. government or whoever, the U.S. soccer corporations, are just screwing over the people here.
They're worried about taking people's eyes off of MLS.
Exactly.
Yeah, makes sense.
Rams today announced the next phase of season ticket sales in Inglewood starts Premier Suites 15 to 2,000, seat with license 7,500, 15,000. Holy Lord. Yeah, that's crazy. For 8 games. Wow.
I mean, in hockey and basketball's defense, you do get 41 home games. Yeah. Right? So there is that, and what a lot of people do here with their Canucks season tickets, for example, obviously very popular. It's the most popular sport here, and the most popular team in the area. They do you can actually buy a quarter of a season ticket now, which is kind of neat, I suppose. You can buy just a quarter or a half.
Yeah. Baseball, I mean, I think they just do it with quantity, right? You can it's just a big quantity thing. 182 games for the regular season, which is just crazy.
Stefan says Florentino was going to do this with the Super League.
Yeah. I mean, La Liga fans I think they're Xavi after the match said he said to the commissioner of La Liga, the president, was like, your product is unwatchable or something like that, So it's like, I've been kind of saying that for a while. Obviously Real Madrid, there's a couple teams that are fun watching, but the whole product as a whole is kind of. Anyways, let's get to our last topic here. Saudi Arabia, for another week running, is inevitably in the news. They've just signed a global TV deal. Also, they've sponsored Atletico Madrid, the Riyadh Air, which we'll get to as well. They've also captured Neymar, the 31-year-old Brazilian, on a 2-year deal estimated around 100 million euro. And also, they concluded their Arab Cup this weekend, in which CR7 lifted a very much World Cup style looking trophy in front of all of his fans in Saudi Arabia. Interesting week for Saudi. We were just talking about global TV deals and whatnot earlier. Funny enough, I share a Fubo subscription with a friend, and the Saudi Pro League was on Fubo today. It was kind of interesting to see, with proper commentary and everything. So it looks like they're getting more eyes.
Sorry about that.
But they're getting more eyes onto the game through Fubo, which is a big step for the league, I think. The global TV deal.
It's better than their live golf plan. That kind of fell flat. Granted, that's mostly targeted towards the U.S. I realize they're trying to target the world with their pro league, but yeah, I guess good for them that it's seems to be taking off better than their first few steps when they started live golf broadcasting happened.
Yeah, they must believe that someone's gonna want to watch this league, with all the talent they've brought into it, which they have. They've brought quite a bit of talent into the league, much more than MLS can say they did. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But the big news is Neymar going to Saudi after being rumored to be going back to Barca. I think last week we talked a little bit about where he could be going. I was hoping he went to Barca. I saw a Gary Lineker tweet from 2017 talking about how the moment you leave Barca, it's all downhill from there. When he initially left to go to PSG. What are your general thoughts about Neymar leaving, guys?
Ridiculous money.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to say a friend, somebody I went to school with, posted on a social media platform earlier today saying that Neymar will be earning his annual salary, 2 of his annual salary, an hour.
Jesus.
So he literally ended his post with hashtag football is ruined. And it's, from a football point of view, sure, is it fun, yada yada yada. It ain't making me want to watch the Saudi League, I'll tell you that. And I'm just one person. There are a lot of people that will, but it's just crazy. No one's going there for football reasons. This is not helping the image that people are going there for football reasons. Whether you like it or not, they're going there for the money. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
I mean, money is a motivating factor for a lot of bystanders, I'll say this, hearing about all this money, this stuff, I think a lot of athletes in America are hearing about all this money in football. I mean, this is obviously selfish from an American perspective, but they're hearing about all this money in football and they're saying, I want a piece of this money, How can I get a piece of this money? It seems like there's a lot of money in football. I'm over here struggling, to get into the NBA or something. Football is played much more, it's a widespread sport worldwide. I could play a lot of different places. I hope that it motivates some people and, to thinking more that way, because people do look at the NBA. They see LeBron with, massive contracts and this max deals and whatnot. And, baseball players getting massive multi-million-dollar 10-year deals or whatever. And, obviously Saudi, I don't think that's Saudi's goal is to, attract the, perk the ears of the average American sports fan. But I think that's what's happening. You're throwing all this money around. It's making a big deal in the global scale. And, hopefully, it changes some things over here. Obviously Messi coming is one part, but I'm hearing about Neymar, and Neymar is somewhat of a household. I mean, he's not a household name. Let me just clear that up. But he's up there. He's a big personality, and him going to Saudi will make it more exciting. I think there's a lot of players there.
I think just when I think about, not necessarily Neymar moving to Saudi Arabia, just him leaving PSG, regardless of where he went. What a failed move for PSG and Neymar. Of course, he won some Ligue 1, some French Cups.
Champions
League
by final.
Default. Yeah, but I mean, you don't spend, if you're PSG, you don't spend that much money just to show up in a final. You want something for that, right?
Yeah, obviously it was never set up to succeed like a big club or something, but I think getting to a Champions League final is as good as they could have hoped for. I mean, that was obviously the peak, but I don't think they had any chance of getting back there.
Yeah. And I didn't realize, I saw some stats getting thrown around today. He wasn't included in 47%, so just under half of PSG's league starting 11s over 6 years. So he missed over 6 years, like just under 3 of them, mostly due to injury around the time of his sister's birthdays, I'm sure. But that's that's a lot of games missed. And as far as his performance, he only scored 2 knockout goals in the Champions League his entire time there. And they were both in the same game.
You know, he just has so much talent, and it just feels like it's been wasted. The classic, you know, go to Barca, Madrid, play well, and then leave, and then your career's just kind of over. Or you just get, you know, after that first big move to Europe, his career kind of fizzles out, type of thing. But he's making a lot of money doing it, you know, and you know,
that's true.
to be, you know, at a certain level, you got to respect that. But yeah, on a footballing level, it's just a little bit. The thing is everybody knows he has the talent. You know, his come up was so crazy at Santos that he's just a great player. Yeah. Other Saudi news: CR7 wins the Arab Cup. He scored some clutch goals. I think he scored both goals in that tournament. In the final, game-winning goal, equalizing goal. I don't know if you guys have seen this trophy, but it looks eerily similar to the World Cup. I don't know if you guys have seen it, which is pretty funny. But anyways, good for Ronaldo. You know. Oh,
I saw a picture of it.
Yeah,
and I a little bit. I see why people would say that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
Little bit.
And last but not least, Atletico signed a deal with Riyadh Air. Hoff, do you want to tell us a little bit about Riyadh Air?
There's not a whole lot to tell about Riyadh Air. I mean, they're sponsoring Atletico, so they'll be on the front. They were founded in March of this year, so 5 months ago, and they are not starting any flights for 2 years from now is when they're planning on flying, I guess. So yeah, it's
interesting.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Interesting move.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I guess they're getting their name out there at the very least.
and today actually in Saudi it was Ettifaq versus Al Nassr, and it was captained by Jordan Henderson and Sadio Mane on the other side. You know, they were the captains. And Steven Gerrard's Ettifaq came back and won 2-1 actually. So they are that was the first game of the league, by the way, for the Saudi Pro League. So they're just getting underway.
Okay.
Nice.
The Saudi Pro League. I don't know, man. I think if it's on, I'm gonna try to watch it. I don't know. If it's on and I got some time, it's like Leagues Cup or whatever, right? Like that's happening right now in MLS.
Gosh.
If it's on and it's in the evening, it's like I'm gonna watch it. And there's some players I know like Messi or whatever.
I mean,
I'm not gonna go out of my way or get a subscription to watch it, but if it's on, and I don't know how it would be if I don't get a subscription, but
well, you know,
I'm sure I'll see some highlights, right?
Yeah,
but I'm not going to be tuning in.
The level of play is pretty good.
I have a certain amount of time, you know. Anyone with a family and a full-time job, like you have a certain amount of time for sports and gaming, and it's set hours. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
you're right.
For anyone in that world, I just, you know, my ability to watch football, even, you know, I watch Arsenal obviously 90 minutes. I might be sat here with another game on at some point over the weekend, but the rest of the games I'm rarely sat there watching all of it anyway. So it's going to be tough. Like for them to win me, like for me to watch 90 minutes of that versus 90 minutes of a Premier League game is going to take a hell of a lot more than just them throwing more money than God's green earth has at players. Like, honestly, it turns me off what they're doing.
Yeah.
With deals like that, it turns me off.
Yeah.
So
The other thing they did, they have Roberto Mancini left the Italian job, the national team, and he's now the Saudi Arabian national team coach. So
And
they're going for the full
what's his
football
name?
experience.
I can't even think of his name. Napoli's manager just won the Scudetto.
Yeah,
bald guy.
What's his name?
Spalletti. He's taking over the Italian job.
Oh, the former
Oh,
Napoli
nice.
manager.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. What else is there to say that we haven't said already, guys?
Can we mention the guy from Luton? I want to bring that up because,
yeah.
guys, like this is pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I've got. Oh, there's this fact as well. Wolves' 23 shots against Man United, the most for an away team at Old Trafford since 2005.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just throwing that one out there as well. Pelly, Ruddock, and Panzu. I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly.
Sounds right.
Probably
Sounds
not.
right.
29 years old. He's the first footballer in history with the same team rose from the 5th to the English First Division. 4 promotions in 9 years, more than 300 appearances. When he arrived at Luton, they trained in a public park, and now he's playing at all these big stadiums in the Premier League. That will be a trivia question in the future, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Good stuff. Should we try it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's impressive that he's been. You don't really see guys that are at clubs for that long. I mean, 9 years. Okay, it's. I guess him being there that long, combined with them being on the rise for 9 years, that's an impressive combo.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like he's 1 year away from being able to have his testimonial. Oh my God, sorry. Guys, sorry, but like honestly, I'll keep having to mute because the dog is barking. My wife, mid-segment, left the house to go get some gas in her car, and the dog started barking, and I'm like, nightmare. Like I'm having a nightmare over here.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, there's it's pretty remarkable from Luton as well. 9 years, 4 promotions. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good reflection on Luton as well.
Yeah.
Should we do Player of the Week? Do you guys want to try that? We could do it from right here.
Yeah.
You want to try? But we got to keep it
Sure.
under 1 minute. That's the goal.
1 minute. Let me
For
get
the
my
least amount of
stopwatch.
editing.
I'm just gonna say one name, right? It's gonna take me like a second.
But a small, okay. I mean, if you want to give explanation, you can give an explanation as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I got.
Alright.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, guys. Players of the week for match day 1 of the Premier League. Go, Hoff.
Going outside the Premier League, hat trick.
okay,
in
hold
the
on. Sorry.
German Super Cup.
Sorry. All right, let's rephrase. Just say player of the weekend.
Gotcha.
Okay, there we go.
Player of the weekend.
Let me restart this. All right, there we go. Alrighty, guys. Player of the weekend for the first week. Wait, what the hell is this then? What is match day 1? Wait, what is this? Match week 1?
Match day 1.
Let's just say player of this week.
Yeah,
Match
player of the week.
player of the week. All right, here we go.
We're overcomplicating it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Player of the week for match day 1. Hoff, who do you got?
I've got Danny Olmo scoring a hat trick against Bayern Munich in the German Super Cup. His second goal, watch it. Go find it somewhere. It's beautiful.
Beautiful dribble and then through the legs. Milo, who's your player of the week?
Player of the week for me this week in the Premier League has to be Isak at Newcastle. 2 goals in their opening game. Good stuff.
And my player of the week is Enzo Fernandez. After a massive price tag in January, he comes and puts in a beautiful box-to-box performance, setting the tempo for Chelsea in their draw against Liverpool. Fantastic. All right. That was very easy, actually.
Like 45 seconds.
51 seconds.
Oh,
There you
51?
go.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
just going to
good.
throw this out there. Remember guys that are watching this live, you know, you get to see all the outtakes, all the coughing, all the me yelling at Bailey. You get all those perks if you tune into the live show. Just keep that in mind, you know. You never know what could happen, like, right? I could get a dirty diaper thrown at me at any moment. It's worth being here for that.
Casado announcement video was cold, bro. That announcement video was horrible. It was only Chelsea.
I'm just curious. I'm curious if, because he said he wanted to go to Arsenal. Does he have a picture with his mom sitting in the back of their car with an Arsenal shirt on too?
I don't know.
Like from when he was younger? Because
you never know what they can do with AI.
Yeah, that. Oh, also true. Good call.
Wait, who's Usos? Who's Jimmy Uso?
What?
Wait, what is going on right now?
He's talking about a wrestler.
Okay. All right.
Is it, maybe he thinks it's a wrestling podcast.
Are wrestling matches 90 minutes? Maybe they're...
No, they're not. I don't know. Yeah. We're going to have to add a WWE segment. We don't have time. Speaking of which, I'm going to work on the segments this week after this.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do the shorts there. I have no idea what you did to make that.
It's just one short.
I thought it looked cool.
It's just one today. I don't know. I'd like to, if there's other parts that we could make into shorts. I don't know. Maybe there are. I don't know.
Actually, I was thinking about that mid something I said earlier that was kind of controversial, because I know you love those controversial bits. We could just snip out like something really dastardly and just put it out there.
Hey, why not? Why not?
I know you'll be up for it.
I mean, look, I've mellowed down with my old age a little bit, you know.
You could have Cart's psychoanalysis shorts, you know.
I mean, I can psychoanalyze. I was, by the way, Rashford was just horrible today as well. We don't got to get back into that. We don't.
And what was the reason?
Well, I was told that he was playing bad because of mental fatigue, you know, last season.
About what?
But, no, just playing so many games. But he should be fresh for the first game. You know, where's the mental fatigue now, people?
Where did he go on vacation in the off season?
Oh, I don't know.
But let's be honest. It was probably somewhere amazingly amazing, right? Somewhere only the likes of Cultured Left Foot gets to go.
Yeah,
right. You know, like so. You know, he has bullshit. It's bullshit. He has no excuse. If you've just had 6 weeks off, I don't care if it was 4 weeks. That's more than I get a year, and I don't get it consecutively. Like
I agree.
It's utter bullshit. Like, I don't want to hear about that. The first game
that's what the Rashford defenders say. They say
right.
He dipped in form last year because of mental fatigue. Blah blah blah. But
right.
I mean, I could also make excuses for everyone why they played bad, but it was just a poor team performance. You know, sometimes you can have a couple players play bad and get by, but this time too many players played poorly and it just looked bad. Let's skip trivia tonight. How about a dad joke?
Do you know we didn't mention Man City tonight? Sorry.
Yeah,
Greg.
We didn't mention a lot of
it.
Newcastle played they were the best team of the weekend.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah,
we didn't mention
and a lot of people were bigging up Villa too. So
yeah,
that's a interesting result, that one.
Newcastle. Tonali was very strong. Tonali very strong.
Goal on his debut as well.
Yeah, he played so well. Bruno and Tonali.
Right, I'm gonna go cough my way to bed. I think.
All right, give us a joke and we'll call it for night. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you.
Yep, thank you guys.
Subscribe on YouTube. Join the Discord. There we go.
Yeah, do all that. Hit all those buttons. Follow, like, subscribe, etc. All right, here we go. What did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K? HDMI. HDMI. I should have done it in his voice, shouldn't I?
That was good. I like that one. That was good.
Do you even know who Yoda is?
Are you kidding me?
It's just a question.
Are you kidding me right now?
Look, I know you're not a big movie guy.
But that's yeah, okay, fair enough. But I know Yoda. I love Yoda. That's my guy.
I think that's the most offended I've got caught since I've known him. Right there.
He's gonna turn around and get it like a baby Yoda plushie or something he has on his.
Yoda is great, man. Is there a new Star Wars coming out soon?
Ashoka is coming out soon.
What is?
Which is
what?
like, so Ashoka is during the Clone Wars was Anakin's apprentice.
Okay.
Okay.
Did not know that.
Yeah, she's appeared in a couple of the other spin-offs. I forget the actress's name.
That sounds like a Indian name, Ashoka.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's what ethnicity she. She might be.
Well,
don't
it's
get
in
yourself
Star Wars
in
land,
trouble.
so no, it's Star Wars land. So it's not really an ethnicity, is it? Like she's an alien species of some kind.
Okay. Oh wait, they made her an alien?
No, well, not like an alien, but I mean, she has tentacles.
Oh, let's get chat up here. Okay. Anyways. Oh, boy. All right.
The Arsenal short is killing it.
Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah.
I
haven't
checked
checked it.
the first day, but then I meant to go back. It's doing well, is it?
Yeah,
guess
it's
so.
it's our most viewed anything.
Yeah, that you see that.
Nice.
I believe if I'm.
But all three of those are.
I think it's
most
because
viewed
Arsenal
things.
was the first word. I've been, I gotta.
Hmm,
I think the
okay.
first word
Right.
has to be Arsenal or
Gotcha.
something like that.
Can we,
I mean, we
next
could-
time
we
we need
could-
a bit. We
we
need
could
to looking at it. We need a much better opening shot. Like, look at what face am I pulling there?
We can't change that for some reason right now.
They don't
Or
have
what- maybe-
thumbs for shorts.
You can't do thumbs yet. I think what we have to
Okay.
do is like in the edit, I'll have to just put an image in the middle of the video. I guess I don't know.
I look like I'm farting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, something like that.
Now I gotta.
You know
pull
what we
it
should
up.
do?
Oh,
We should
yeah.
just record some hot takes real quick. Just be like, Mikel Arteta has 3 penises.
What?
That's not a hot take.
I don't know. People
It's
might
not a
click
hot
on
take.
it.
That's just a vicious rumor started by you.
I don't know. That was a little. I was thinking. I was in Star Wars land there. Sorry.
Right.
Okay.
I think it was. Oh boy. Where do we go from there? All right.
Home.
Yeah, I think we call it there, guys. Thanks for joining, as always. We'll chat in Discord. Chat. We'll see you guys later. Good night.
Good night.
Adios.